The first time he touched my hand, I thought it was an accident. The second time, I knew it was a mistake. By the third time, I realized it was a goodbye I hadn't signed up for. New York in December was a city of ghosts. The snow didn't fall, it bled. It smeared itself against the windows of Café Astor, where the air always smelled like nutmeg and second chances. I was already seated when he walked in. Elian, wearing that same navy peacoat from high school, like time had paused just for him. And then there was Parker already beside me, warm, solid, his hand on my back like he belonged there. He did. But Elian used to. The clinking of cups, the hush of conversations. And somewhere between all that background noise, our worlds collided again in that tiny space. Elian, I said, my voice cracking like the surface of the hot chocolate I no longer wanted. He smiled casually, that same stupid smile that once made me write poems under bleachers. Hey, Jamie, been a while. 3 years, 10 months, 2 weeks. But who was counting? Parker turned toward him, polite, unreadable. His hand didn't leave my back. If anything, it pressed just a little more firmly. It was like he could feel the storm coming and wanted to anchor me before I got swept away. Elian wasn't supposed to come back. That was the deal. He left after graduation with a duffel bag and the words, "You'll forget me." I tried. For a while, Parker helped me forget. He didn't arrive with fireworks or confessions. Just kindness and presence. The kind that didn't demand space but offered it. We met during a volunteer program after college. I liked his smile before I knew his name. He liked that I quoted poetry without realizing. We didn't fall fast. We fell honestly. But now Elian was here, in front of me, in front of us, and the space between our past and present was choking me. So you too? Elian nodded toward Parker, who just tilted his head, almost smug. Roommates or? Together, I said, sharper than intended. Elian blinked, laughed, but it didn't reach his eyes. Right? Of course. That's great, man. You deserve that. That's when Parker leaned in. Want to sit with us? He asked, with a smile that could cut glass. I wanted to die. We talked like strangers sharing a waiting room. Weather, work, mutual friends we didn't really miss. But underneath it, there was a second conversation. One with eyes, with silence, with hands that didn't touch but wanted to. So, Elian said finally, swirling his coffee, you're happy now? The question wasn't for Parker. It was aimed at me, like a bullet in slow motion. I didn't answer. Instead, Parker did. He's more than happy. He's loved. I flinched. Elian noticed. He laughed again. Bittersweet. I guess I taught him how to deserve that. That was too much. You left, Elian, I snapped. You don't get to show up like some test I forgot to study for. His face didn't change. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I didn't know how to love you without destroying you. Parker stiffened beside me. I could feel his breath catch, just for a second. Elian, I started, but he raised a hand. I'm not here to win you back, he said softly. I just wanted to see if I broke something I can never fix. You did, Parker said quietly, but I'm building it back. And then, the silence was louder than anything. Later that night, after the awkward goodbyes and promises to keep in touch we knew were lies, Parker and I walked home in silence. The cold bit at our faces, but I didn't feel it. I only felt his hand in mine, firm, reassuring, and trembling just a little. In our apartment, he pulled off his coat and turned to me. Do you still love him? The question was a scalpel. Clean, precise, and terrifying. I looked at him, this man who stayed, who waited, who chose me every day. I think part of me always will, I whispered. But that part doesn't get a vote anymore. He stared at me for a long time. And then, with a sigh that sounded like surrender and relief all at once, he pulled me into his arms. You were never his to ruin, he murmured into my hair. You're mine to love. I broke. Tears, shaking, relief. We held each other like the world outside didn't matter, like the past was a lesson and not a prison. And in that moment, I realized that Elian wasn't the ending I was. I had closed that chapter. Weeks passed. Life resumed. Elian became a memory with sharp edges, but one that dulled over time. And one evening, in that same cafe, Parker and I sat again, no ghosts this time. Just us. His thumb brushed my cheekbone gently as I laughed at something dumb he said. Then the door opened and there he was. Elian. With someone else. His arm around a tall, gorgeous man. Smiling. He caught my eye, smiled, nodded. I smiled back. And then Parker leaned in, lips brushing my ear. Too late to cry now, isn't it? I turned to him, kissed him softly. Way too late. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.